Hello! Now, in the last episode, we set up our cement chain. I was always kind of led to believe by the television that I watched when I was younger that by 2013 we'd have something more advanced than cement. Or in the case of sort of some of the lazier, some 50s and 60s shows which were re-syndicated onto British TV, that it would at least be sort of nuclear cement or atomic cement, depending on how late into the 50s and or 60s they had got. But no, here we are with cement, and Warskip. That looks quite good, actually. Let's find a reason to use that. So this also produces farm supplies, and there's been a constant bane of my life, which is the food trucks, which just never seem to build up enough food to actually make them worthwhile. The next kind of Carberry Farm's gung ho, so I'm not going to be able to go for my plan. Oh, that was well researched, wasn't it? Do we have any other farms that we have connected here? Now, let's have a look. So let's disable all. Let's just go to farms. Any other farms that we have in our network, so to speak? No, I don't really think so. Unless maybe Maidenhead. That's a farm. These taking farm things? Yes, these take food. And this is only producing normally, so we could bring freight over here. Yes, let us do that. Yeah, this is all passenger lines. You need to find some freight lines. So it's all actually passenger over here, isn't it? Yes, Carcass passenger. This is passenger. So I guess we need to come out from Gerrard's Cross. So let us find a bit which is a bit flatter to do this. So we need to go to Maidenhead Barns, and I think probably from here. Here is probably a good place. So let's start constructing railway. We have about a year to do it, which means about 10 minutes of time. So, well, when did we accept that locomotive? So let's see if we can get this done and not upset the purveyors of prototypes. Let's bring that out to there. Just go. We go to buy a 100-mile-an-hour locomotive, so I feel this needs to be good and efficient. Tubular bridges. There we go. That's it. This series has one sort of lasting effect, and I hope it has this effect on other people because I fear that I'm going to be the only person who suffers from it. No, don't need that opt here. Yet, which is that whenever you build a tubular bridge, you will hum the little bit of tubular bells. Maybe you should try to get some variety into this. Maybe you should try to get the little bit that was from The Exorcist and all of that, as well as just the bit with the instruments being introduced, which, as we said, is a total rip off of Memphis Soul Stew. What was I going to say before I got distracted by that? Let's just keep building routes up here. Let's do some tycooning while we talk. Things like these TV shows, which of course are set in a future now past. There's a lot of, especially with the fact that the year 2000 was a very exciting year because it ended with zeros in the digits and so on. It ended with zeros in the digits. That's the whole thing about it being exciting. There are lots of things, which are set in. It's called sort of set in a future now past. Which happens, and as you sort of get to the present day, you start to realise how implausible they were. Certainly. Actually, I was going to say Thunderbirds, but Thunderbirds is set in. Actually, still in the future. We still have some time to get there because I think, depending on what sources you look at, I think most of the episodes actually set in not 19. I set in 2062. So it's a little way to go yet. I mean, obviously the premise of Thunderbirds is it's just so implausible that corporations have eroded the safety mechanisms and legislation to the point where people just sort of routinely have nuclear incidents doing basic operations like building a road or something of the sort. I need to get building a road. I need to unbuild this road. Can I unbuild this? Yes. This may ruin everything the AI is doing, but we do that a lot here. We grief it up. So let's unbuild those. Yes, Thunderbirds completely implausible. you know, a world in which corporations have completely eroded safety legislation to the point where the slightest building a road causes a nuclear incident. And it's Maidenhead Wood, so it's Maidenhead Barns, isn't it? Where's the farm? I've lost my farm. Oh no, it's down here. Okay, so we could come down here. There we go. We've probably taken that across at too high a level. That does make it avoid most of the horror that's up there. And yes, and obviously the most implausible thing is that there is a billionaire called Jeff who has enough money to buy a moderate-sized island and fill it full of machines. You know, that's definitely not a thing that's never going to happen in the real world. Now, yes, this whole phenomenon of things which are set in something that was once the future and now is not the future. Something actually on that. And this actually be appropriate, being episode 95. Let's talk about something from 1995 rather than the something from 2014 or the imaginings of 2014. They were in perhaps 1995. So we need to also trace this back. So let's go back to Tycoon for a little bit. So this comes up here, and this goes round here, and it goes around the bottom of this, and it goes up here, and it can get to here, and then it gets round this sort of snaky bit around here. And where did I put my junction to go here? My junction to go here is not there. It comes off there, so it comes up here. It comes from here. Oh, I'm not sure we can get there from here. Was one of the talking about things from 1995. Not the thing from 1995 I was going to talk about, but the original the soundtrack to Transport Tycoon did have a song on it called "They Can't Get There From Here." But no, let's get this. So that has that going there. So we just need to be able to bring a little route off here. So split this off here. This is all going a bit landscape disastery. So because this is double track as well, so this brings an extra complication. Because we need to be able to bring the inner track out. So let's bring the inner track out here. There, yes, and so inner track comes out here. And now let's remove that just briefly. Will that work? Yes, because I want the outer track to come out here. Yes, so that's now going to give me a track which I can hopefully turn around and send through a tunnel. So at some point soon, let's just tunnel it under here like this, I suppose. It doesn't need to be that high capacity, so I think this will work. It doesn't really need extra signals. This might need a bit of you. So that's my track to go up to the other track. This is well narrated, isn't it? Yes. Which will need to go through. There's lots of tunnels and things going through here, so this will probably need to go through a bit of a cutting. And then this actually has a track that it can get to the other one from, so we have to go round the transmitter. There we go. So, yes, anyway, speaking of other things from 95, that people assume is set in a future now past, which is not actually true, is Pulp song Disco 2000. It's sort of let's all meet up in the year 2000, and that's kind of the key to the fact it's not set in a future now past, because the narrator of that song, if you actually listen to the lyrics, is narrating it from the year 2000 and or later. As you know, it's talking about the time that we said we would all meet up in the year 2000, and now it is 2000, and we have met up and things have been very different. They've not worked out the way we expected them to work out, which I think is probably one of the most accurate summations of the actual world, as it actually happened outside of some sort of sci-fi. They didn't really, certainly didn't expect most of the things that have happened as a result of the the 2010s and 2020s. Yes, we're in 2020s now. This is legitimately fine to say that, the 2020s is a decade. It's not a very big or very long one, but so far, that's worrying, isn't it? Like you say, it's not a very long one. Humanity just sort of ended about 2026. So it wasn't a very long decade for humanity. But yes, not been very much of the 2020s so far, and we kind of haven't really liked what we've seen. But yes, it's legitimate to refer to it as a decade. The one where it all goes wrong. July 2014. We need to get on with building these new trains, which means we need a station here for them to load. So let's build a good station A. So build it out there, and then because that can then handle the. Actually, can that handle the thing? So no, I need to remove here. Stop faffing. Get to station building, because we're going to need to build those trains before we anger. And it's Alstom who built it. Well, we shall find out in a moment, because we shall build one. But let's get the route that it is going to ply set up first. So this will actually count. Now this will be annoying, because this will count as a slow turn, because it is going the same direction twice. So, but it's going into the station, so it doesn't really matter so much now. This is an interesting problem, which is that this kind of needs to come back out again round here. It needs to do that because it needs enough space to build the bridge that goes into there. Now that's, oh no. I try not to, but we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to get rid of that, just because there's not enough space here, and something has to give, and it is the river that has to give. So, ridiculous. Let's bring that into there. That can come around there. Now, I also want to have my little ability for this to kind of make its way round. So I'm going to make that slightly less steep turn, and we're getting very close on this being able to build this train, aren't we? Let's keep going with this. So that there, we need to replace some of those, because those will need to be magic signals, the correct sort of magical signals that do the things. This probably doesn't matter too much if this is just signals like that. So that's okay. So I'm going to put the path-based signal here, and then I'm going to stick the block signal here, the exit signal here, and we're getting really close. So let's just build the depot, which will go here, and that's not worked. Why has that not worked? Well, because it's facing in the wrong direction. I've not done that before. That's a new failing for the 2010s. So, the new vehicle, the Warskip. Let's buy the Warskip. Okay, we're sorted. We haven't tested it. We haven't done anything with it, but we are now successful. VGA van can carry farm supplies. Yes, there's everything else that can carry farm supplies that's even faster. No, I think we're just at the VGA van, but that probably will be okay. What's the pre-weapons? So these can carry farm supplies as well, I think. So those carry 60 tons, they carry 45 tons. I think these are more efficient in terms of farm supplies per unit length. I kind of want these to be efficient. So, 540 crates, that's from 2 months' supply. These are going to be a little bit sporadic. Although, actually no, because they only need to arrive once every 3 months, so that should work. We take them now to Maidenhead transfer. This is where we have to be a bit more. We need the waypoint here, don't we? So Stallman's farm supplies. They're going to have to go via the waypoint. I would not. I would leave that one as it is for now, because then it'll go straight to the station, and that will all be good. Let's go back to Maidenhead. They're Maidenhead Barns. Maidenhead Barns. Oh, that's not my route. That is the AI's route. I'm so used to seeing my own trains. The fact that their trains are blue. Okay. So we should compete with the AI when we go here as well. So let's do that. Let's ruin their day. So let's go for there. Go there. So I'll do my best about to help the AI. But no, it shouldn't do that. So that can go there. Yes. So we've got our farm supplies. So 3 of those. I think those 3 of those seems about right. The right. So farm supplies, yes. Farm supplies are going to put these into there, and then we should take the food from Maidenhead Barns. Where does the AI take it? Take it to Full Bay. And now we want to take it somewhere that's going to be useful, and where could possibly be more useful than where's our scrapyard? It's Boat of Garton, isn't it? Where's Boat of Garton these days? I've lost my boat. There it is. So there's the boneyard. There, somewhere around here is Boat of Garton. And though, yes, it's over here, isn't it? So we should be able to take some. So I'm going to build some stations. There's another good station across here. And there we go. It's serious tycooning time now. Okay, so let's build that. Let's preserve these bridges. I really sort of start, I guess, with this kind of. Is this an industrial line? We could briefly. In fact, that takes us most of the way there. Oh, that was a good bit of forward planning, wasn't it? Whoever built that. That's very, very smart. So let's go to make that third rail for a little bit. Whoever built it right next to this river was not so smart. We should be able to just pop that there, and then that will go across there. Oh no! Back to the one-way path signals. So signal that up. So this takes us most of the way down towards Boat of Garton, which is quite fortuitous. So yes, there we go. We just bring that off there. Boat of Garton Woods. So if I just accept food, yes, and accepts food, it accepts vehicles as well if we wanted to. So, although I'm still building the station next to it, so what I could do, of course, is to build a drive-through road stop. And there is already one, so that's fine. So what we can do is build a good station here, Boat of Garton Woods. And again, just a sort of terminus station. And then that can go up there. Oh, that doesn't need any clever jiggery-pokery with the entrance, because it's just a drop-off station. Trains will always be keen to leave it. And so that can go around there. That can go around there. That can sort of come straight across there. Okay, don't signal that the wrong way. It's because I was playing a game the other day with somebody who had the signal set on drive side the other way round, and so therefore, what was happening with that was I was so finding it's quite weird where you sort of get used to the signals being on one side, and then they change, and am I building them in the right place? All right, let's food offload here, and then. So we need some transport from Maidenhead Woods. There we go. So Maidenhead transfer. It's transfer from Maidenhead transfer. So block signals there, exit signals there, and path signals there. Oh, things are getting old. This usual problem. So we shall attend to that in a moment. But let's build some more war skips. Very excited about these. Oh, these are quite good. In fact, these teacups, well, teacups are actually quite profitable, so we could, no, there's a little bit over the top of that, isn't it, to replace it with the sort of really powerful trains. So, bones are probably okay. Well, let's check what the warskip's actual running costs are. Warskip running costs are 10,887, 66 is class 92s. Skips are a little bit fast. Yes, a lot of these are kind of, this Mac, oh, it's a little bit slow. Brush tug is a bit, so yeah, I think bones are probably the right solution here. Maybe the Cromptons, they're a little bit faster, so let's leave those for now. And what is this? This hopefully will just be, yeah, it'll all be teacups. Good. Okay, we built a water skip. So let's get something that can carry food. Let's get the right. No, not a DPSO. That's entirely the wrong thing. Stop misclicking wildly. Maybe. Ooh, pocket wagons. Yes, those actually carry quite a bit of food quite fast. So we're going to refit that. And then that's going to go. Now we need a waypoint here for loading. So let's build that. So Maidenhead. So this is going to be Maidenhead. Food load. And then I can lead a little bit around here just to let that loop so that the trains can get back there. I know these have caused horrendous problems for me in the past. These little loops, but I think this should be okay. So, there we go. So let's go via food load. Let's set that loading already. Let's get that notice. One thing as well to note, which people talk about, a few people pointed this to me probably about 40 episodes ago or something, that you could use this filter by cargo type when you're building a train, and one of the advantages of it is actually that let's build 4 of those. We want to get the ratings nice and high because we would steal all of the service from here. In fact, the simple way we could steal all the service from here is we could just buy the exclusive transport rights. It's so cheap. Like this, this was a cost-effective bit of evil, really. That's going to ruin their days, and that's why we don't build those, isn't it? Do we remember why we don't build those? Yes, it's because that happens, and so this needs to kind of go around here. There is a way probably of doing this. There's a way of probably calculating this. This actually holds a complete train. Okay, so let's build a signal there. Yes, so that's it. You need to make sure that can hold a complete train in it. The train doesn't stop at that signal there. And that actually tries to reserve the path properly. Okay. Job sort of done, maybe. But yes, the point before I cause total disaster is that if you do that, this becomes buy and refit vehicle, which then means that you build the vehicle with the correct sort of attachments. Okay, those are now gone and hidden in the depot. So they're good. They've gone round the food load. This is loading food, and see how the unload trains are getting on. So that's travelling. That's loading. So these hopefully will be on their way shortly. So we probably need a few more than this. Wow, lots of farm supplies. So yes, they're going to say we need a couple more of these, and just because if that's not even got to the place where it's supposed to be dropping off, and these are kind of loading already, then we're going to need a bit more of that. And so there we go. Let's see if any of the cement trains have done anything useful yet. And so there you go for the cement load. So have they done anything useful? Well, this one has. I think so. This one, they're quite profitable actually, and they do make rather a bit of money. There's probably a few too many cement trains, but we'll leave those as they are. I think. How many are in the depot? Yes, there's kind of 5 in the depot, so maybe there's a bit too much going on here. Let's check with the. What is my blast furnace? It's West Winchester, isn't it? I just want to check. Little bit of slag tended to build up, but not so much of it. So you probably would need to boost. And now hang on, West Winchester. There's a very simple thing we could do here, which could build a statue. That should boost the cargo of the station. They should now start dropping off sort of an extra 10% or so because of the boost there. And yes, we should maybe we could just upgrade this and let's do some town road construction and give Westminster some buses too. It feels like the nice thing to do. The responsible thing to do is give people buses. The perfect birthday present. Do you like a bus? So that's just going to go around there. That's going to have a little depot thing there. So these kind of... What to make them go in a loop? Maybe we should make them go in a loop. This little bus loop. Not the most efficient, because what will happen is the Metro City or Metrocity. Because the bus loop means that quite a few passengers are sort of having to go 2 stops. They only need to go 1, but this sort of short distance, and the fact we're not sort of super obsessed about profitability anymore, that will do. There we go. Metro Cities on their way round. So Westminster has some bus service as well. Benefit from that statue, and that I think is a fairly good place to. So yeah, there we go. Yes, those are sort of going up, but they're still struggling to keep it consistently above 1,000, aren't we? Even after we put all that effort in. Well, never mind. Let's go over here. That will still improve things over here. So yes, I know. I know I made some buses. You didn't reminding me, but yes, I think that is as good a place as I need to say. I shall have done some things and. We have some new services. We should probably think about getting to a point where these are actually all nicely running. I mean, how many stations do we have that are disaster areas at the moment? Let's scroll down to the bottom. They're not many, not too many that are bad. There's a few that's quite low rating. There's still a lot of passenger issues, but I think maybe we should start the next episode going back to trying to really fix that network, leave it in a good shape, and that again is a next episode thing. So I shall see you in that future episode.